Hello, everybody. Everybody, shots. Hopefully, my voice is good enough. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Let's give a few minutes for the other people to join. I already apologize because my voice is a little nasal. I've been, for those of you who part of my life, I just came back from a trip and there were some tequilas involved. It's a very tough moment in my life. Um, but my immune system is like complaining now about the tequilas and the lack of sleep and excessive, fun times that I've had in the sun. So my voice is a little bit recovering. But that's okay because you can still hear me, right? I think you can still hear me. I just tested the mic. It's okay. I told some of the ladies who asked, Oi, meninas, you do not need to be on camera. That's perfectly fine. And I do open this for questions. So if you want to have any questions, you can send them on the chat. We're also broadcasting on Instagram. Inception. Actually, we're gonna broadcast it on TikTok today. So if you're on my Instagram, you lost the Zoom because I'm gonna disconnect now, but you can also DM me and I'll send you the link for the next week because we're doing these calls every week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And the whole goal for that is to connect. Hi, my love, Mashehi. Hi, Stacy. The whole goal here is to connect, is to open a safe space so we can have deeper conversations. No, with most of you guys, my clients, I know we have a great time, but we sometimes we don't get the chance to go deeper in certain matters. So that's what I'm gonna do this calls is to just dive deeper in things that I believe need to be talked about, things that I see that you guys on a weekly basis have been battling and struggling because more often than not, we usually struggle with the same things. So that's the whole goal for that. And at the end, I'm gonna open up for Q&A, and that's about any open matter
I think the thing is too.
regarding fitness, training, nutrition, mindset. Like I said, you can also ask about my love life, although I do not advise because it's been interesting. No, it's all fun and games. Everything is nice and fine, right, guys? Those of you who know what's happening, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. All is fun. But okay, so I'm gonna talk today. The topic is, oh, just so you know, this call is being recorded. If I choose to use any clips of that, that's just for my personal records. If I choose to use any clips of that, like none of you are gonna be on the call, and none of your things are gonna be exposed, unless I think it's so valuable. But I will definitely ask you first. Of course, I will. So I'm no crazy. Okay? Sounds like a plan. I'm ready to go live also on TikTok. It's my first time. This is insane. History is happening. So the whole topic that we're going to do today is how to stop stopping. I have been having uh so many issues with people, and that's all my life. All my life as a trainer, before I was a trainer, that like we don't see results, right? We start and we stop. We start and we stop. And I know that a lot of you guys haven't had quite TikTok, you're fucking with me. Sorry, I can't curse. I'm live. Sorry. Sorry, this is new. That's why I need an assistant. I need another assistant. If anybody would like to volunteer, I'm looking for assistants to deal with my nonsense. But okay, I'm all focused right now. Hands off the phone. The whole goal for this is to talk about how to consistently be having conversations, a high Alexis, and habits and lifestyle, and something that will allow you to finally conquer the body you want. Because a lot of us are not there yet, right? Um, I think for the past, I want to say my personal story. I just posted a reel uh for my whole development in the last 20 years. So it's a huge time frame. It's like half of my life. I've been in the gym. I've been dedicated to fitness and I've had amazing results. But I want to say, honestly, for the first 15 years, it was a severe up and down, like a severe up and down. Gaining and losing anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30, and at certain times, I think a couple of times in my life, up to 40 pounds, which is not healthy. Do not recommend it. And as I get, I was about to say older, as I get more experienced, it gets harder. So when I was 20, I could bounce back so fast. I could bounce back, I kid you not, in a day or two. Boom. Like binge eating the full weekend, drinking wine, lots of candy, lots of partying, lack of sleep. By Monday night, I was already très bien. But I know now that I'm the beautiful age of 39, it's not the same. It's not the same. So it does require us, you guys who are younger, my generation, a little bit older, a lot of wisdom and knowledge to understand like how to maintain a certain level of fitness that it's sustainable. And that's my whole goal. Like all my clients know, I love fast results. I think it's important for you to see fast things happening, like a fast moving of the needle. But also I want you to have lasting results. So for the first 15 years, like I said, I was up and down so many times, battling binge eating disorder, a lot of emotional eating, a lot of like severe body dysmorphia. And the last 5 years, and I don't want to say it's been smooth sailing, but it's been much, much better. And that comes, I kid you not, like it was just like a lot of healing from a personal standpoint, a lot of changes in life, but also a lot of like curiosity and understanding what's my relationship with food, what's my relationship with my health, what's my relationship with my body, and really taking the time to understand how that works. You know, I'm just thinking about something. I should have fixed my hair a little bit better. You guys deserve a better presentation. I'm sorry. Next week on, I'm gonna. You guys joke with me so much. I'm gonna look more presentable. Not like I trained 17 clients today and just had a 2-hour workout. My apologies. It won't happen again. Otherwise, I'm a diva. But that's okay. You love me as I am. You're la- You guys play too much, man, and I do, I like to play too. So that's a peligrosa match, the dangerous match. Back to my line of thought. I'm not gonna look at you because you're distracting me. I love my life. But so it's for the past 5 years, doing a lot of healing and understanding how my body works and being really able to, I want to say I fluctuate now between 10 pounds, but that's just because I do competitions. Like I have to have that fluctuation because I need to still keep growing muscle on my off season. So my cutting season, I cut so much muscle, so much body fat that like I'm left with some more muscle. When I stop competing, if that happens anytime soon, I probably will allow myself like 5 pounds, maybe 6 pounds up and down. I think that's a healthy way for my height. I'm 5'4" and I'm currently 153 pounds, I think. My stage weight is 139, maybe 138, maybe 140. So all I'm saying that is because the only reason I've been able to have those results and been able to at age almost 40 look so much better than I do when I was 30 and even 20. Definitely when I was 20. I was a mess when I was 20. But it's because I never stopped. I never stopped. I kept on going. I kept on training. I kept on like doing the things that I love to do. I'm sorry, Instagram, I'm not paying attention to you, but I'm loving you too. I love you. It's just my guys here. I know I have to say I love you guys for my Zoom. But if you like to be having somebody pay real attention to you, you need to hop on my Zoom next time. That's it. Say to that. You guys enjoy. But how to stop stopping? I'm gonna give you guys 3 reasons why we stop stopping and 3 solutions. So first reason why we stop stopping is because we don't see results fast enough, right? And I've just experienced that. I've just started my cut. I'm gonna be on stage May 31st, not on a competition, so I don't need to be super, super shredded, but I need to be somewhat like this, somewhat. So it takes time, but I started my cut and by the end of week 1, I don't see results like I used to when I was, my 20s or my 30s. And I know my immediate brain, my immediate reaction is to like, damn it, it's not working. Let me have some cookies. Because you know what? If it's not working, why do I'm gonna keep suffering, right? Am I right? That's how we think. I don't see any results. Why am I gonna keep myself in misery? Why am I gonna keep myself just like depriving myself of all those pleasures, all those beautiful things that I could have in life? And that is a hamster wheel that we keep on like spinning all the time, but it doesn't even burn calories. So it's kind of stupid of us to keep doing that. And I can say that because I've done it. And I still did it this week. A little bit of me is like, I don't see results, let me just enjoy myself one more weekend and then I'm hit on. It's us. We're humans. We do that. I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means. I'm so far from it. I fail more times than I can count, and I'm real. I just posted a reel today showing how real I am on this weekend that I drank, I party, I ate cookies, I ate burgers. I was on it. And now I'm paying for it. So I'm back on the gym. I'm back on doing all the things that I love to do and that I need to do to look like I want to look. But so we need to understand that mindset of adjusting your actions according to what you see in the mirror is not quite beneficial for us. We need to understand that this is not serving us. So if something's not serving us, why do we keep doing it? And that's why we need to understand how you need to change that mentality. So if you keep acting in a certain way, you diet for a week, you don't see results, and then you crash on the weekend. You diet for a week, you don't see results, and you crash on the weekend. If that's not working, what do we need to change? And that's what we're going to talk about on the results part of it. Second thing that why we constantly stop pursuing our fitness goals is because we kind of forget our whys. We kind of forget what really matters for us. And once again, happens with me all the time. I just want you guys to understand that none of you are alone in that. And the only reason why my physique might look a little bit different than yours is because I've been doing this for a long, long time. So it's been 20 years in the making. So I've made enough mistakes to kind of be on the other side. And I made this my career. So, like I went deep down, dove deep down into the reasons why, because I really wanted to heal and I really wanted to help other people not have to go through the same stuff that I went through in order to heal, in order to see results. But the reason too, like I said, is because we forget our whys. And I mean that by what does really matter to you? And that is such a huge and important question. And I want you also to understand that that's going to have different meanings in different parts of your life. Like there are seasons in my life that what matters the most to me is looking shredded. I will ditch the cookies, I will ditch some of the tequila shots in order to have more defined abs. Because for me, looking like super shredded and lean matters the most to me. Like, for example, I'm walking towards the season of my competition. I love competing, not just because that's my career and that's what I chose to do with my life as far as a profession, but I do love being on stage. It's like a personal thing. Like it helps me, like it fills my cup. It's my thing. I love putting on the lashes, the heels, extensions, and looking glam like a diva, putting a crown on my head. Like, why not? So that matters a lot to me, which means that for the next probably 2 to 4 months, yeah, up until August, I'm going to deprive myself of a lot of things that I haven't been depriving myself for the past 2 years, ever since I've been off season. And that's okay because it's a choice. I'm not doing it because I'm obligated. I'm not doing it because um I don't know, somebody told me to, or because I don't understand it, just because it's the easy thing to do, or but just because everybody's doing it. I'm doing it because it's a choice. So that my why is so intrinsically ingrained in my mind that it's easy to say no to things like that. Because I understand, like on August 15, I'm gonna step on stage and I want to become a world champion. So there's absolutely nothing that's gonna take me off of this path. Now, I understand most of you do not have competitions. Most of you do not work with fitness. Most of you do not have to step on stage in a thong and heels. But although I would suggest because it's super fun. But, but there is a why you're doing that. There is a why you're in this call. There is a why you're trying to pursue become a better person related to your fitness goals, to your physique, to your health. And that's the thing that we forget a lot of times because we get distracted. Sadly, and I'm gonna have to go a little bit of conspiracy theories here, but sadly, the world, society, and trust me, I'm a capitalist above everything. I think free market, yeah, let's make money. I'm all up for all that. I'm came from Brazil, huge socialist influence. I don't think that works. I'm all up for it. Let's make money. Money's awesome. We can travel. We can buy expensive tequila. It's all fun and games. We can buy good, cute workout clothes. So I'm all up for that. But the market, sus- uh, the businesses usually don't profit out of you being healthy, So there's this whole thing that's generated for us to not be healthy, for us to make poor choices, for us to go for the fast food, for us to go for the easy fix, for us to go for the instant gratification, for us to go through whatever everybody else is doing. And that does not benefit us. That makes us forget our why. Because, you guys follow me, how I'm a cookie monster. I love tequila and I love having abs. So it's a complicated life. So as much as I love my cookies and I love sweets and I love sugar, and like for me, food has that, that love. I'm also an immigrant. My whole family is in Brazil. I'm alone here. So like having something sweet for me, it's almost like my mom's baking for me, which I love. So there's all this emotional thing attached to it. But my biggest why is to be healthy. Honest to God. If I had to choose between being healthy and looking good, I would, in a heartbeat, choose being healthy, because I've been sick, and being sick, in my perspective, is one of the worst things ever. If you can avoid it, avoid it. We get to do everything within our power to not be sick, to feel good, to perform good, to have a good life. And it's a blessing that we have to do this. But most of us do forget that. So, it comes the weekend, and get a better example than me. I love this because I'm not full of shiz with you guys. You know my life. I was just on a great weekend in Dominican Republic, by the way. Sending my prayers. There's been a huge disaster there. So the thing we can do is pray for the families that were affected, the lives that were lost, and understanding that without God, we are nothing. But that's it. Um, and understanding that I was there and I was enjoying myself. I was being conservative, I was being healthy, making healthy choices. That's going to be part of the topic number three. But I was also like not depriving myself, because momentarily, and I should have done better. I ate too many chocolates, which was stupid, but I was caught in the moment. I'm only human, which is okay, because no, I learned how to forgive myself and not feel guilty about that. It's okay. I'll do like extra few sessions of cardio. That's fine. But I did get myself, like entertaining in the sugar addiction of chocolate and tequila. And I forgot, for me, that in 8 weeks I'm be on stepping on stage. I just get caught up in the action. So for me, that's what, like, it kind of set me back a little bit, because I forgot my big why, which is, for now, my big why is stepping on stage. So we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about how to solve all those things on the second part of the call. Third topic. So first thing why we stop stopping is we don't see results fast enough. Second thing is we forget our big why. Third thing is complete lack of knowledge. We stop stopping all the time because, excuse moi, we don't understand enough about our health and about our bodies and about nutrition and about training. So we think we're doing something right most of the times, or we'd like to think we're doing something right, but we're not. And that's like the part out of all these three topics. I'm looking here at my cheat sheet. I think that's the one that it's unexcusable, inexcusable, unexcusable, without excuse. Because we all have access to information today. And I understand that it is confusing, because there's so much information on that it can be overwhelming. I also, like, I take my hats off to you, because you're here, you're looking for information. And I'm not saying like I own the truth. Absolutely not. But I also, like you, I keep searching, I keep studying, I keep looking. And every time you try something, or you look for something, or you're studying something, you're always one step closer to getting to know yourself better, to understanding what really works for you. And the good and bad news about that is just it keeps constantly changing. Because as our body changes, also the things that work for our body to perform changes. So you need to be constantly being updated and testing your body and being aware. And that's what the part of like lack of knowledge comes. And I'm going to start giving also the answers to it reverse, just because one reverse thing a day keeps Alzheimer's away. So we need to train our brains to not follow orders chronologically. Alexis is cracking up with my dad jokes. But I crack myself up too, girl. Yeah, I love my life. But so lack of knowledge. What can we do to offset that? First of all, I'm gonna give you some knowledge here, but I don't want you to just take my answer as an absolute truth. I want you to test it on yourself. I want you to put your body to test because, like I said, a post maybe a couple of weeks ago, like I can only, as a coach, I can only guide you through whatever you need to be guided through, but you have to be your absolute master on your own health. I cannot ever pretend or assume that I know more about your health than you. You need to be absolutely like curious about yourself and obsessed with like understanding how your body works. Because not because I want you to be a fitness professional or a competitor or anything like that. I would love to because I think it's awesome. But because we need to understand that our bodies are the only thing we carry with ourselves for the very first day to the very last day of our lives. People will come and go, some sadly, some very happily, they will go away from our lives. People, things, material things, places, possessions, everything. Our bodies are really the only thing we have with us always. So if you don't understand how your machine works, you very often feed it with gasoline when you should be putting it diesel or plugging up to a hybrid, whatever. I know, stupid analogy, but it works because only you need to know with the help of your coach. Hopefully, you have a good coach on your back, on your corner, on your back, on your corner to help you guide you through. But to for you to understand that, like lack of knowledge is setting you back years. Because if you've been on your fitness pursuit for at least 2 years, you should have some very considerable results. And if you don't, it's because you're missing up on some of those things, like either lack of knowledge, you're not seeing results, and you stop, or you just forget what really matters to you. So the knowledge that I want you to understand is that we tend to underestimate the damage that a fun weekend does and overestimate the results we can get in a week of hard work. And how our body works is very unfair. So if you have a problem with that, you can go and complain to God because I did not make the rules. I'm just learn how they work. And trust me, I'll back you up. When we all get to have, I'm gonna be the first one to talk to God, like, God, this was so unfair. And I'm sure he's gonna have a great answer, and we're all gonna be like, okay, okay, you did it right. But that's okay. It doesn't stop us from complaining because he's merciful. He forgives us. But our bodies are prone to storing and holding on to body fat. Things are so easy to go down, especially as we age. When, mind you, even if you're 20, 15 years old, you're already aging. Oh, sorry, folks. I get so excited. Whatever age you are already aging. Every day we're one day older. So you're gonna hit a peak at a certain point, some at 20, some at 25, some at 30, whatever, if you're lucky enough, and then we're gonna start going down. But if you're able to understand how your body works, that curve going down is gonna go so smooth. That you're gonna be able to have a beautiful, like, late stage of your life. What I want to say about that is that back to how our bodies work. When we stop taking care of ourselves, meaning you have a fun weekend, you you think just like those little snacks that you have after midnight, or those fun weekends that we have, and I'm like I said, I'm so guilty of that, are not detrimental to you. But 2 days of not taking care of what you eat and excessive drinking and not moving around are a gazillion times more harmful than 5 good workout nutritional days that you do. So if you go from Monday to Friday and have a perfect diet, perfect workout routine, perfect movement, you're meditating, you're doing the morning routine from that guy Ashton, like you're sticking your face in expensive water, and you're sleeping with your mouth tape, you're doing all those things. But on the weekend, you're sipping on tequila shots like I do, or you're not moving. Or I'm gonna use another example because none of you are drinkers like me. And I'd say that not because I'm trying to reinforce drinking. If you don't drink, it's beautiful. Keep it like that because it's one of the worst things you can put on your body. And I will eventually stop one day, probably by the age of 50. But for now, I'm still enjoying some wine and some tequila, and I don't drink that much. Not anymore, anyway. But I had a very good training in Brazil. Boy, did I. In my early 20s. Okay, we'll talk about it. You can ask that on the Q&A, and I'll promise to answer most of the questions. But, let's say you're like, you don't like to move much. So comes the weekend, you're not out and partying. You're more like a more like, how can I say? You like to be at home. You don't like to see people. A lot of people don't like people today. So let's say you're a homebot. So you're not moving much. You wake up late. You do a lazy breakfast, or you don't you're not eating enough, and you're trying to put on muscle, and you're not eating. And then at the end of the day, you do a big meal with not enough protein. You're not drinking water, and you're not moving. If you have those 2 days who are very harmful to your health, and 5 days of perfect thing to health, sorry, it's not a fair math equation. You're not gonna get results. Maybe you will if you're just starting and if you're young enough, but most of us are not on those categories. So most of us will not see results if we keep doing it like that. And that's when I need to tell you, like, lack of knowledge, because you need to understand that 2 bad days are equivalent. How can I say? Let's say, mm, 2 bad days are much worse than 5 good days. And that's where most people, they lose themselves because they think it's harmless. They think having a fun weekend, it's harmless. And it can be if you know how to do it well enough. And maybe that should be a topic for another call since summer is coming. Maybe I should teach you next week how to have fun and keep having results. I think that's a good topic, but I digress. So, and also from the lack of knowledge aspect, like, you need to know the basics of nutrition, the basics of how your body naturally works. I just posted a reel today talking about, like, have a fun weekend. Okay. After that, go to the gym, go do cardio, go lift weights, go do some sauna, sweat it off. That's how, like, I offset everything. So it's not like I had a fun weekend and I enjoyed myself, and then Monday I'm back to normal. Back to normal simply won't do. I need to go a little bit extra. That is only if I want to keep seeing results fast enough. If I want my body to take some time and recover slowly, and I'm not planning on having another fun weekend anytime soon, I can take my time. But if that keeps repeating every weekend, I'm sorry, but it comes money. You need to hit hard on that, on your body. You need to, like, okay, I'm gonna overdose you with a lot of healthy things now. Detox this and sweat session this and massages and cleanse juices. And some people don't like that, but I believe that. But I also believe in a lot of protein. So the solution for not lack of knowledge is, of course, acquire some knowledge. I just gave you some, and most likely next weekend, next Tuesday, we're gonna talk about how to have a fun weekend, and then I can go down to the nitty gritty of nutrition and training and, like, how you should behave to offset a fun weekend. Let's say, because no, summer's around the corner. I think that should be good. Second thing, you forget your big why. You forget your big why. You're out, like, let's say you're saying, okay, comes Thursday, I'm going to be chilling this weekend. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be good, go to the gym, work out, drink my water, hydrate, and work. But comes a little devil called friends. Hey, let's go to the beach. Hey, let's go to the pool party. Hey, let's go to have some pizza and beer. And it's all fun and games, and it's okay. I'm not saying stop hanging out with your friends. Absolutely not. Please hang out with your friends. Friends are amazing. But you need to remember what matters the most to you. If you are on a journey and, boy, Flexi, thank you for showing up. And you've been somewhat dissatisfied with your body and it's been causing you some sort of pain. And I don't mean physical pain, but it's causing you like discomfort. Like you've been on that constant role of like pursuing your body, and nothing happens. It's time for you to like put your big boy pants on, put your big girl pants on, and understand like I can't be doing that anymore. Like I can hang out with my friends, but I don't need to be doing what they're doing. And thank God, I've mastered that because, at a young age, at 22, after doing an exchange program here in America and going back to Brazil, I was like 30, 35, 40 pounds heavier. So I still hanging out with my friends, but I cannot eat and drink what they did because if I did, I would still be 100 and all pounds. I'll probably be weighing myself more than 200 pounds a day had I not, you know, called the shots of my life and of my health and made something out of my life physically, which, turned into a career, turned into changing countries. All great things come out of it. But had I just followed whatever they did, I probably would be a very obese person today. Oh, I know, I'm more. So yeah, I'm not saying don't hang out with your friends, but remember what matters to you. Be strong enough to understand that your life is your life, and like just saying yes whatever happens in your life, to whatever question they ask, whatever opportunity shows up, without taking awareness, acknowledgement of what matters to you, is hurting you. So if how you look, how you feel really matters that much to you, you should be able to say no to some things. And I'll give you another example that has nothing to do with health, has to do with business. So I'm growing my business. I've had my business for 6 years now, been going through ups and downs also with my personal life, blah, blah, blah. This year has been amazing. I've planted so many seeds in the past couple of years since moving to Miami, and now they are growing. So my business is booming by the grace of God. But I still want to live life and hang out. So every weekend, it's the sun is shining. I want to go to the beach. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to put my feet up and have a pina colada and enjoy and just go in the ocean. But if I do that, guess what? My business is not going to grow. So I need to understand that in order to have what I really want, I kind of need to say no to the things that I want now. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Never exchange the things you really want for the things you only want now. Because, like, mind you, like an afternoon hanging out at the beach with my friends is lovely and it's amazing and it's so fun. And I'm not saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if I keep doing that every Saturday and every Sunday, how my business gonna grow? And 10 years from now, what am I gonna have to show for? Oh, I spent so many afternoons hanging out with my friends. Yeah, that's lovely. I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying don't do that, but choose wisely. But or 10 years from now, I can have my empire, which means no, it's not about money, but it's about my purpose in life, which is to help other women, to help other people grow and heal that relationship with your bodies and with your health. And that for me gives me so much pleasure. Uncomparable, incomparable, no comparison to hanging out with my friends because it's a God-given thing. Of course I want money. Of course I want to buy nice stuff and have nice stuff and be able to, get on a private plane with my dog to go to the Caribbean islands. But I'm not quite there yet, but one day I will. So bringing that back to health is maybe it's time for you to understand, okay, I would love to go hang out with my friends and have wings and beer or pizza and whatever, but maybe I shouldn't be doing that every weekend. No, maybe I should choose special occasions and do that and go all in and do it without any guilt or shame or even reserve. But if I keep doing that every single weekend, I'm just gonna keep giving myself steps back. And then comes Monday, you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you're like, shit, I did it again. And how do I know that? Because I was in that position so many times. I remember, and that for me wasn't even every weekend, was every single day. I did my dieting. And then I'm talking like when I was in my early 20s. Let's just say I was a little intense with my health. I was dieting perfectly all day, which means for me was a long time, to say no to delicious food. My mom is a great cook. come at the end of the day, at night, I come home and I was watching my novellas back in Brazil and like had nothing to do, finished college, had a good got a good job. I was bored. I was, let me just have a cookie. And that kept happening over and over again. And so every day I woke up like shit. Woke up again. Damn it. Woke up again. Woke up again. Like, I'm tired of this. Why do I keep repeating that? And then one day I woke up at night, I was like, you know what? I already know what happens if I eat. I'm gonna have pleasure for 30 seconds and wake up a full day of guilt and dissatisfaction with myself. So let me see what happens if I don't eat. Let me just go to bed. I'll brush my teeth. I'll go to bed. I won't eat any sweet things tonight. And I woke up the following morning. My stomach was flat. I had peace of mind. I had a great humor, like great mood. And I was like, this really works. So that means I don't need to eat crap every single night. So I'm not telling you once again, please, I'm really trying to emphasize that. I'm not saying don't be fun, don't go out, don't go live life. Like I want you to do all those things, but if you're constantly waking up at a bad spot in your life with your body, that means something is not really serving you. Maybe you're just disguising your emotions with food and drinks. And trust me, I say that with all love, with all my heart, because I've done that so many times. And I still do it every now and then. The difference now is that now I'm able to observe it, identify it, and still choose, okay, like I'm facing this. So, and I'm craving sugar. And I know it's not going to solve my problems, but I'm going to go for sugar, a small dose, because I know that's going to give me momentary relief for my brain. It's going to get some endorphins, some dopamine, and then I'm going to breathe, be able to breathe. I'm going to step out of the situation, I'm going to think better. That's different than just like not thinking cookies, not thinking beer, not thinking, let me buy something on Amazon. We all do it. Everybody left. Everybody left because everybody's guilty. Maybe not everybody has food issues, but we all have Amazon issues. We should start a support group. But okay. So have that in mind. Next time you try to do something or you just get caught up and like, and also I want you to hear that and listen to me that that's not it's not a fast a quick result type of thing. It's not a quick fix. You're gonna still mess up a few times before you're able to observe and identify like, oh, so this is where I'm sabotaging myself. This is where I'm saying things that actually are not beneficial for me. This is where I'm saying yes to things that I really should be saying no to. So give yourself grace, give yourself love, and instead of judging yourself and feeling guilty and shameful and like feeling like you're worthless or that you're too weak or that you're too this or too that, give yourself grace. I always tell my clients because I told myself first, like, I'm going to treat myself like I treat my best friend. So I'm not going to be mean to myself anymore. I'm not going to be an asshole to myself. I'm not going to keep pointing fingers at myself because I would never do that to my best friend. And just talking about that makes me want to cry because we are so bad to ourselves. And I want you to stop it because that's the number one thing that's killing you. I'm not gonna cry. You're crying. I'm not crying. Back now to reason number one, which was not a third, because we're trying to keep Alzheimer's away. We keep keeping our brains healthy too, not just our abs, but we're also training our brains. Is you don't see results fast enough and then you quit, which is the easiest thing to fix. Because I want you to understand that your body is always responding to whatever you feed it mentally, physically, whatever you're eating, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing exercise wise. But there's a difference between working and a difference between showing the results of hard work. And there's a gap between those two. And if you understand, like, you don't need to be like a farmer to understand the difference between when you plant something and when you reap the fruits of it, right? We all know about that. It's the same things with our body. Imagine if a farmer plants seeds. He plants a seed Monday, and then by Friday he doesn't have the fruits, and then like he just burns the field down. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. I should have thought about this a million years ago. Imagine if you did that. We'll all starve to death, but that's what constantly keep doing to our bodies. We start dieting on Monday. By Friday, we don't see results. We just say, YOLO, fuck this. I'm gonna eat whatever, right? I see some heads shaking, like, yeah, me too, me too. I've done it so many times. So I need you to understand that, like, your commitment to your results, your commitment to your lifestyle, your commitment to your fitness, if that really matters to you, which it should, not because of looks, but because of health. Looks, we want looks too, okay? We want the looks. That's fine. But health needs to come first. You need to have those actions happening regardless of how you look. Because you know for a fact they're good for your health, right? We all know that. We all know controlling carbs, eating protein, supplementing, sleeping well, hydrating, exercising, strength training, walking, all those things. We all know everything by now. We all know those things are good and they're gonna be good for our health. But if you don't lose 5 pounds by the end of a week, we're like, this is really not working. Let me have some ice cream for breakfast. We're burning the fields. Do you like that way too much? I'm glad I'm not the only crazy one. I know I feel so much better. Guys, I'm crazy too. Like God knows how many times I've had cake for breakfast because like wake up like, where are my six pack? Fuck this. But if I made it that with that like crazy mindset, you guys know you can make it too. It's possible. So we need to stop burning fuels. I'm not gonna go long in that because um, it's a simple thing. Keep doing it until you see results, not when or not because or not after you see results. That's just like like most of us, we can be accused of not knowing things like nutritional training, whatever. Nobody needs to know that because no, that's if you didn't study for that, why would you know? But we understand the basic laws of nature, right? We are all humans. We understand how things work. Things take time to develop. You look outside, look at nature. Like you plant a seed for a flower, it takes time to blossom. You see any animal, human beings, we get pregnant, takes a time to conceive the baby, not to conceive the baby. That sometimes can be very fast. But to grow, I'm not gonna look at you because I know you're gonna be laughing. But it takes time for the baby to. You're horrible. Oh, you don't love my life. But I can't make eye contact with you. So it takes time for the baby to develop in the mom's womb. Same thing with our results. Think of that next time you see like you don't see results, think like the seed is being developed. The seed is taking time to grow. It will grow because you're gonna people are cracking up on Instagram too. Because you're gonna keep doing the right things. So you will see results. I promise you. You have my Amanda Lifestyle stamp of quality and reassurance. You will see results. But if you quit and if you burn the fields, eventually you're gonna have to plant some seeds again. And that sucks. I want you to start reaping the benefits and getting some fruits rather than just keep planting the seeds. So next time you want to go loco, YOLO, remember this. Time to eat some juicy fruits. I'm not gonna plant anymore. Got it? I could go on and on. I got some jokes in me, guys. I could be crack. I should be a stand-up comedian. But I'm gonna open for Q&A. I'm sorry. Oh, my chat was closed. Did anybody say about chat? Thank God nobody did. Okay. I'm open up for Q&A now. If you have any questions, could be about this topic, could be about anything else. Let me know. Let's open up. We have about like 15 minutes. Sorry, I went a little bit over what I usually like to. But go ahead, feel free. Don't be shy. We don't judge in here. We just might laugh with you, not never laugh at you. And by now you'll know like Flex is defeated. She's done. She was chasing some ducks today and some leaves. Any questions? I'm gonna do it like an auction, like a silent auction. Any questions, number one? Any questions, number two? I think somebody's move. I see some movement here. Don't be shy. You can ask a question. You tell better jokes. I tell better jokes in the comedy club. I went to a Friday. Girl, I am. I should be a stand-up comedian. I no. Maybe I'll go do some stuff like that here, maybe. Because I'll be fired. Because the best thing for a good stand-up comedian is making fun of your own self. And I'm a master in that. I laugh at my own jokes. I laugh at myself all the time. It's all fun and games. There's no shame in that. So yeah, maybe I'll come up with like a side gig, not sidekick. Then he's asking, what do you do for abs? There's a few things. I laugh a lot. That helps. You feel that? Three sets of laughter. Let's go. Ah, yeah, I'm stupid. But I mean, it's what they say, nutrition. It's definitely a master because if you keep eating things that are going to keep you bloated, even if you have low body fat, you will see that layer of bloating, of inflammation between your skin and your muscle that comes from nutrition. Second thing is you need to be on a lower body fat percentage because it's really hard to spot reduce fat. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think it is possible. It's a controversial thought, but I think it's possible. But you'll very rarely find someone who's overweight with defined abs. And if you see, that just means they have a good doctor. But you have to lower your body fat in general in your whole body. The thing about spot reducing fat, like we have certain areas in our body which we usually store more fat, which is called stubborn fat areas, stubborn fat. And what we can do to help with those is for fat to be erased from your body, to be annihilated, there needs to be oxygen happening there. And what happens with most of the times we have stubborn fat is there's a deficiency in blood flow in those areas because it's usually an extremity. Like think about love handles, think about like thighs, like here on the side of your thighs, think about underarms. It's easy to identify that because even if you work out, like if you're ever trained with me, you see that. Like my girls are working out, I'm like be touching their triceps, like they're doing tricep extension, I touch here, and if it's cold, it just means like yeah, their muscles are contracting, but there's not a lot of blood flow there because when blood flows, it warms up the area. So if you touch a certain body part and it's colder than other areas, it just means like if you could increase the temperature on that area, what you happen is you dilate the veins, the capillaries, so you have more blood flow going there. If you have more blood flow going in that area, it means it's easier. I'm not saying it's a perfect equation, but it's easier to have the fat burning effect happening in the area. So one of the ways to offset, let's say you want abs, I often tell my girls use a waist trimmer, not because it's gonna make your waist snatched, but because it's gonna increase temperature around your stomach. That's gonna make more blood flow, increase blood flow, which is gonna make more oxygen circulate in those areas, which is gonna facilitate body fat burning. Okay. And the third thing that I do, stomach vacuums. I don't know if you ever had a chance to see, international international signal for like say what? Stomach vacuums, quick demonstration is when you work your transverse. Now, I just had a big dinner, so I'm not gonna be able to do it properly. But it's when you work on the transverse, and what you do is tequila. But what you do is you inhale, you exhale, and then you try to pull your stomach in like that's a stomach vacuum. What that does is now don't do it after dinner because they're gonna look ridiculous like I just did. Do it in the morning with an empty stomach right after you go to the bathroom. There's a video on my YouTube channel showing how to do stomach vacuums. If you go through my Instagram, you also find that. Uh, but that what does we have two layers of the abdominal muscle, the external, which is the rectus, which is like the packs, and we have the transverse, which is inner, it's internal. Transverse is what holds our whole gut and organs together. So most of us are walking around with a flat stomach, means that transverse is soft, it's flat, it's like it doesn't have that, it's not working. When you do that exercise, the stomach vacuum, you make sure those fibers are like snatched. So it's almost like you're wearing your own internal waist trimmer. So holds everything in. So also another thing that I tell my girls, like, think you're constantly walking around in a crop top, even if you shouldn't or you wouldn't have that mindset. Because if I'm wearing like a big hoodie, and let's say, oh my kitty, let's say I'm doing groceries, I'm with a big hoodie, I'm gonna be around like this, right? Uh, Now, if you think or you're wearing a crop top, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be walking around like this. Like, I'm not gonna let myself go. So that's a good mindset of you, because that also works on those transverse muscles. Like, you constantly need to be pulling all together. No, our moms and grandmoms, they knew it all along. My mom always said, like, hold the stomach in. She knew it, even though she didn't know it. Good. Three things. Nutrition. If you do have some fat, stubborn fat, like, definitely use a waist trimmer to increase temperature around the midsection. Stomach vacuums. Stomach vacuums you can do every morning, 5 minutes. Wake up, do your pee pee, bathroom sink. Go look on my YouTube. Chris is asking, what advice do you have for someone who skip a day of working out due to being tired? My love, if that happens, especially when you have a high activity like yourself or someone else that does a lot, you can either do two things. Like, if you're training for, let's say, a competition, and I would definitely restart the following day, or even if it takes 2 days extra for you to rest, start where you stopped. So let's say you're supposed to do legs on Monday, but comes Monday, you're super tired. If Tuesday you're feeling better, do Monday session. If Tuesday you're still feeling tired, and then you're gonna start on Wednesday, get back to Monday. If you're not training for a competition, like if you're not training, you're just training for a lifestyle, you can start, like, you can pretend you did your Monday training and start Wednesday as you're supposed to be. Like, it's not a big deal, because once again, it's a one training that you missed within the span of like 26 training sessions in a month. It's not gonna be a big deal. It's so micro, it's just so little. Or maybe, some of us could be just as cycle as, okay, I'm feeling too tired on Monday, Tuesday, I wake up feeling great, I'm gonna do 2 sessions. You can do that too, but don't tell anybody I told you that. Got it? It's okay, because she's my client. Alexis is asking, how do I stay consistent on days I don't feel motivated? Exactly that, my love, because you need to really think your health and your fitness as your job to yourself, you know? Like, I wish, that's something I struggled a lot when I opened my company, because I used to work for people and I used to work for the government back in Brazil. So I show up for my job, I don't feel like working, which usually is true. What do you do? Can I tell my boss, like, sorry, I don't feel like replying stupid emails today? No, you suck it up and you do, because yeah, exactly. There's something you have to do. So, like, according to your fitness, you suck it up and you do it. One thing that helps me, though, I don't know if it's gonna help you, but like a mindset that helps me is, because I love the gym. I love the gym. Doesn't mean I want to train all the time. And I love looking amazing. That doesn't mean I want to eat, you know, protein and vegetables all the time. Sometimes I do want to eat pudding or flan, or a lot of times though. But what helps me is, and I said something related to that on my stories today. Like, I love looking like an athlete. It's like my absolute, like, it's a high for me. Like, walking around, like, people look at me like, yeah, she's an athlete. I can tell. Like, I love that shit. Like, it gives me high. But I love being different than most women. And I've always had. Like, back home, the ladies would like put mega hair. I chop my hair down. Like, I was always like, I think like how they call it, the black swan of the family. Like, I've always loved being like the opposite. So for me, if I feel tired or if I feel lack of motivation, And I can think that most people in my position would quit. I don't like to be like most people. And I think that anybody that's trying to achieve greatness in any area should not compare to what most people do. So for me, that's a trick that usually helps a lot. Like I trained legs today and then I stepped on a Stairmaster and I was tired and I was hungry and I was like, you know what? I've done enough. I should just go home. And then I thought to myself, I looked around like I would say 90% of people in this gym would just go home right now, but I am not the 90%. I am the 1%. I'm not even the 99%. I am the 1%. And that helps me. That gives my inner like my alter ego, my Amanda lifestyle. Because sometimes I'm just Amanda, like I just like leave me alone. Like I just want to cuddle and eat cookies. Which is fine. You need balance. You need both. Because there's some days, like Chrissy said, there's some days you're gonna be tired, physically tired, and you do need to rest. That's not a mindset thing. That is a physical thing that your body's telling you, I need rest. And you need to understand the difference between both. But when it's just a lack of motivation, you're trying to let, like, we're trying to let excuse my French, the little bitch inside us, like, call the shots. It's not on my watch. I'm going to be the 1%. So that mindset really helps me. I don't know if it will help you. I think it will. And for me, it's always from a standpoint like, I'm trying to be great and I'm trying to do great things. And that, like, okay, I'm not going to be like 99%. I'm not going to follow the herd. I'm going to like trail my own path. I hope it helps. Should you work out the next day when you're sore? It depends, my love. It depends. Depends on a lot of things. And I'll tell you this. If you're extremely sore, most likely not. So, but you also need to think about like muscle groups. Let's say you worked out legs and you're sore on your quads. The following day, you have an upper body session. By all means, work different muscle groups. Legs are sore, back is fine, work your back. But let's say you worked out legs on a Monday, Tuesday comes, you train your upper body, Wednesday comes, you're still a little sore. Soreness is a sign that your muscles are recovering. They're going through the process of recovering. Um, I'm not saying necessarily you don't need to train, but maybe you train legs like slightly different, or you train different parts of leg. Like I'm a big fan of separating quads, the front part of your legs, which is the quads, the thighs, and the back part of your legs, which is the hamstrings and the glutes. So let's say you train Monday, you train quads, like more focus on quads. Come Wednesday, it's time to do legs again. Maybe you focus more on glutes. So there are like different parts of the same muscle group, even that you can train. But I'm also a big fan of going crazy and training legs consecutively. So maybe I train Monday. Like I just did that actually. I trained yesterday, trained for about an hour. It was great, but I knew I didn't give my all because I was mentally tired and I didn't have much time to be at the gym. So I trained about an hour. Today, woke up not sore yet because it takes 24 to 72 hours for muscle soreness to show up and heal. So I know I could hit legs again and almost like do a compound effect of muscle tears and like go a little bit deeper on the workout and then give a bigger recovery. And today, by the end of the day, I've already started feeling my legs sore. So they're probably going to be sore tomorrow, which is Wednesday. If Thursday they're still sore, I'm going to evaluate. If it's just a little bit of soreness, I'm going to say, okay, I'm ready to do it again. But I'll focus on different parts. Maybe I'll focus on glutes rather than quads. Make sense? Um, did I answer your question? Did it help? Man, we did so good today. We got so many questions. I love when you guys participate. See, you had all those questions. Everybody was shy. All I had to do is crack up some more jokes and you showed up. Thank you so much, you guys. We're gonna call it even now because I do have to be somewhere at 9, meaning out the door. But thank you so much for showing up. This has been so awesome. I love this interaction. Love, please keep showing up because I love to share. I think we all have to win with this. And no, feel free to share the link with your friends. See, like there's this crazy lady. She cracks jokes. She talks about nutrition. I don't know what's up with her, but come, let's laugh together. Let's all have a group therapy session together. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I hope to see you next Tuesday. I don't know how most of you got the links, but if you're on my list, amazing. If you're not on my if you're not on my list, I saw some hearts. If you're not on my email list, please drop your emails here on the chat or send me via Instagram so I can add you to my list because I'm gonna implement probably starting next week. I'm gonna implement another call on Thursday, but that's for a workout. And I don't want you to miss it. Okay. Thank you. Let me show here. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Alexis. And that's a wrap, you guys. Thank you so much. This has been fun. I hope to see you all back here next Tuesday. Mwah. Sending much love. God bless you all. Peace out. Peace out. Hey, down, down. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun. You know what I'm talking. Dun, 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 dun. Asha, 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 Asha. I'm too silly. Mwah. Love you guys. Have a good night. God bless you. Bye.